So originally, because of some of the things that have been going on, I was gonna have this video up on Sunday, which was yesterday, but I didn't. But it was kind of a good thing because one of you had mentioned that there was leaked gameplay footage, which I'll go into detail later in the video. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about that and a couple of other things that I recently found out about or didn't hear about until I actually found it through Amazon. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to talk about today. So first off, I wanted to talk about the blood drive that's going on during QuakeCon. I actually first heard about this through Alpha Omega Sin's video, and I thought it was a pretty cool idea for the developers to have the American Red Cross Association come over and have people, donate blood for anyone in need of that blood. And basically, when you go there and you donate blood, you'll end up getting free merchandise, free promotional merchandise that goes along with The Evil Within. There's an article all on it. I'll leave a link down in the description below. You guys can check that out. And basically what they're calling it is The Good Within, so which is kind of a nice name for it, after all, The Evil Within is filled with lots of blood and gore, so it's kind of fitting that they named that. Name the blood drive that. So I wish I could go. I think it's down in Texas, QuakeCon. Unfortunately I can't because I'm all the way up here in Illinois, so it sucks. I really wanted to go and and I can't, but hey, what can you do? So the next thing I wanted to talk about was Psycho Break, the Japanese version of the game, being censored and it having a DLC pack that uncensors it. So if you haven't heard already, Psycho Break, the Japanese version of The Evil Within, is censored, and this has something to do with Japanese law in terms of censorship and all that. So in order to get the rating, what was it, Zero D or Zero D, however you pronounce it, they would have to censor it. But I guess they found a way to get by that by coming out with a Gore Mode DLC, which, by the way, it is free if you're in Japan and you want to get the Gore Mode DLC, which is pre-order bonus, I think. I'd have to look it up and check again later. So if you remember, if you watched my RE4 walkthrough, if you remember, I mentioned that in Biohazard 4, the Japanese version for Resident Evil 4, that's actually censored. Whenever you blow off a Ganado's head, it would just pop up with another head, or change into one of the parasites instead. But you would never see like their actual heads explode like you would in the American version. I'm not really like involved in Japanese politics because I don't live there, so they don't really, Japanese law does not apply to me at all. However, the only thing I'm worried about is, will they, later down the line, will Bethesda charge consumers for this? Because right now it's a pre-order bonus for the game, but are they gonna just come out with it for free later on for everyone to get it, or is it going to be something like pay $2 just to get it, or whatever the equivalent is down in Japan? Now, based on my understanding, if they were to just leave it uncensored, they would actually get a rating known as Zero Z, and that's like according to Wikipedia, it's the one that's like actually restrictive, legally restricted. So I'm guessing what they were trying to do is go for D and then just come out with this DLC pack that kind of, like I said before, goes around that. again, like I said, I'm not sure, but what do you guys think? Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about, or I should say the next two things I wanted to talk about were the comic book and the art book that are coming out. First I wanted to talk about the comic book. So the comic book is a prequel to the main game, and you don't actually follow any of the characters from, based on my understanding and based on the description that's given on Amazon, you don't follow any of the characters from the game. You follow this character named Dana Robinson, who's this college student who ends up getting pulled into that disturbing psychological world that the evil within has pretty much set up. So if you guys are interested, you can check that out in the link, or check that link out in the description below. I found out about it on Saturday, and I was actually kind of surprised no one was really talking about it. I mean, there were a few articles here and there, but no one was actually like mentioning it. I guess no one was really interested in it, but I'm kind of interested to see what happens before the actual events of the game. Hopefully the game is good, because then I might actually get it, but if not, then I'll just avoid that. But I have some pretty high hopes for this game, and it looks pretty promising. So next I wanted to talk about the art book. You can actually pre-order that on Amazon as well, and basically all they have is a bunch of concept art, and I'm guessing in-game screenshots and other various types of artwork within the book. And I always like seeing like different types of concept art, especially when it comes to like certain types of enemies, because you get to see how different certain monsters look before and then after the full game actually comes out. So it interests me a lot. There should be like a picture or concept art somewhere in the video. You can see one of the enemies there. So I'm really looking forward to getting my copy on the art book. So, and if you want one, you can also check out that other link to Amazon. And lastly, I wanted to talk about the leaked video that one of my viewers mentioned to me. So basically in the video, it's Offspring gameplay, so it's not in the greatest of qualities. I'll also leave a link for that as well down below. But basically it starts out the same as the E3 demo, but it's a little bit different. Actually, a lot different. The player actually goes into a different route rather than going straight to that library area in the E3 demo. Kills a couple of the haunted enemies, as they've been called. Walks all the way to the other side, and he gets to one of the severed heads that were shown in one of the screenshots, and a lot of people assume that was like one of the save files, but in the gameplay it's actually one part of the puzzle to open up that big door that closes when you see one of the doctors and that weird thing with the mirror face running towards it and it like closing behind them. So that's what it's for, because when he actually comes back into that main corridor, blood starts filling into one of the parts of that big door. So you'll understand what I mean when you actually see the video. They also showcased some of the fat haunted enemies, and also the crossbow that you can use that you obtain later on in the game. Yeah, and that's all I really have to talk about for today, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.